This game. Okay. So, we're on the hunt for a base. I find myself here yesterday, and we have a base. We have a base here. We have a base here, which encompasses this lead, and this acid. This acid is mine. It's in my circle. In fact, my circle comes out to here. But because I'm building midway on the mountain, or on the upper, not even the upper tier. This is the upper tier, this is the mid tier, and this is low tier. So nobody's allowed to use this because it's in my circle. Nobody's allowed to build this close. You can't overlap circles. So both of these minerals are essentially mine. Or, well, I'm not going to call it a mineral. They're not minerals. One's ore and one's a chemical of some sort. So, the first thing that I'm gonna say is that you need to get your shit together. This whole airspace from here to the top of the sky is mine, and that's the way it should be. So in theory, I should have two things here that I have access to. Because, like, and I'm wondering, and I have a feeling that it's going to be the same thing on the reverse. So if I move the base from up here down, so I spend another 40 caps moving the base. Right, we've already spent 40 caps moving the base once. The first time I moved the base here, I put it like right here. And that gave me enough to encompass this, which I give, like, resources. Resources? I'm pretty sure it's in resources. Okay, so this is our lead right here. So now, if we still got this circle on? Yeah, we still got the circle on. Look where my circle is. Look where my fucking circle is. There's the base. There's the base. That's the new spot for the base. But like, I'm in the circle. I'm clearly in the circle. Like, this acid is mine, and I'm not allowed to build down here. And we all know why you've done that. There's one of two reasons. It's either bad coding, or you've deliberately made it so that I'm not allowed to use both of those materials. But then I call you out for my second base. So what I've done is I've opened up an interactive map on on the internet, because I live on the internet with this game, although I'm not very successful in finding things. So we just end up testing our own theories to and seeing if they work or not. So Um, I could, and I have no issue. I have no issue spending another 40 caps and moving the base again. And maybe what we'll do is we'll take the base from here, and then we'll now move it down. We'll now move it down there. My issue is I can't see this pile from down there, right? Because this is where the acid is. The acid is literally below us in the rocks. So in the spirit of keeping things kind of sorta, let's go like this. Right, so now we know. Okay, there's our green line. So let's push, because if we're too stingy on this end, then we're not gonna have our circle up there. Okay, let's see, because now in theory I should be able to build on top of this. This is quote now mine, because my camp is on the same terrain altitude as this, and that shouldn't matter at all. I should own up to the sky. I should own everything above me and everything below me. It doesn't matter. And I should be able to build in this circle. Okay, so now we open up our camp. And yes, I'm allowed to build acid here. Now, okay. Now here's my issue. I'm not going to be able... I'm going to have to leave my bubble. I'm going to have to leave my bubble. Right? So if I want to build up there, I need to leave my bubble to get up there. Unless I have a jetpack. Because as soon as I get too far from my circle, I lose the ability. I lose the ability. So the only way this is going to work is if I have a jetpack to test this theory. Well, not necessarily. I should, in theory, be able to open up my camp from here. Like, I should just be able to push the button, or push the middle button on the PS, and it should give me my camp. Because I should, in theory, be right, because our thing is right below. It's right below us. So I'm pushing the middle button, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the screen bounce back and forth from me pushing and holding the middle button. Like this is me pushing and holding, and then letting go, and then pushing and holding, and then as I let go, it puts me into first person. And then when I push and hold, it'll actually rip me out of first person and put me into third person, and then when I let go of the middle button, nothing happens. So I'm forced out, and then when I let go, nothing. So let's move down a little bit. Do we have access yet? Oh, we have access here. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, can we get back up somehow? Nope, I lost it. This shouldn't be that much of an issue, man. Oh, I found it. Fuckery. Let's see. Now here's the issue. I don't think we're going to be able to jetpack while in the green sphere, while in build mode. There's like you can't stim up. You can't stim up when you're in build mode. So I imagine you're not going to be able to do other in-world things when you're in build mode. So we're probably going to come to the same conclusion that we're fucked on both of these. We're either getting one or the other. And I'm trying to be fucking greedy and take both. And I should be able to. And that sucks. yeah, I can't access my camp from here. So I can't build from here. And if I put my camp up here and then take the build system down there with me, literally just open it up and throw myself off the cliff, it turns off. Or it doesn't allow me to build down there, and then I have to leave and it turns off. It just physically doesn't let me build down there. So here's what I'm thinking. Instead of lead, instead of bullets, instead of bullets right now, what if we doubled down on the steel? Now, I don't know if it's going to make sense. So here's the idea. We'll do a little bit of math. I think we get like 20 an I think it's like 20 an hour. I think it's like 20 an hour. But that means we have to remember to come back roughly every hour. It doesn't have to be every hour because again, we're going to try and build this into the rotation. Right? We're going to have individual shops open at a time because A, we're going to be jumping around with them, and B, we're going to be collecting resources with them. So while I'm doing my rotation, so just to reiterate, now while I'm collecting XP and goodies, I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna open this base up and I'm gonna run it for 10 minutes. Then I'm gonna open this base up and I'm gonna run it for 10 minutes, wherever the fuck the other base went. This base. Now, we don't have anything here. I could, in theory, move this camp. It's one hell, like I've put a lot into it. We could move it down the street a little bit because there is some concrete here. You see where this guy is? This guy's actually sitting on the steel. so he's doubled down. So he's running steel, and I think you can actually incorporate the creek in the back if you're snug about it. I'm pretty sure you can snug up against the steel and fit your bubble into the back of the creek. And what that means is when you come home, you have a water tank that's got 5 in it rather than 2. Right, so you get to do more things. Because again, you may not be coming back to the camp every hour. You may have to push it because you might be in the middle of a run. And it also depends. Are you running solo or are you running with a team? Because that's gonna make and then like, are your bases gonna overlap? And then you're gonna have synergy within your bases, right? Well, who's gonna open this up now and who's gonna open that up and so on and so forth. That's like there's no synergy complication when you run solo because you're literally only self-serving. Right? You have to have a really good team, and we're going to digress a little bit here, but you have to have a really good team if you're going to collect the amount of XPs that I've been collecting. You have to be on your shit. You have to, you have to have your socks up and you have to be in the fucking game. And those rotations are going to be tight because these lunch boxes are like, they're around, and if you use them properly, especially as a team, you can share your XPs. Right? So I open up 4 boxes for the group. And then we run our rotation. And then the next guy opens up his 4 boxes. And then we run another hour worth of XP. And then the next guy, and then so on and so forth. Right? All while having the perk card for extra XP. And you're also like depends on the synergy, but you could probably play short-handed with the team healing card, and I mean it all depends. I'd have to get into a team and put myself into a situation where a few of us have team heal, and we're probably cutting that with the group perk. So really quickly, let's go in. So we're looking at just has 16 levels to push, and because I haven't decided how I'm gonna play this yet. Like this is this is basically end game. This is basically end game now. So now I want to be a little more. Now I want to be a little more stringent about what I spend my perk points on. I already know what cards I'm going to be breaking down because I've settled on a build. I know my own role now in this game and in a group. I know how I function, and I'm noticing a lot of people are playing ranged DPS. So it's nice to be able to have something that complements that, right? And now everybody can hang back, and now you're all saving. Now you're all hopefully, as a tank, I can round the NPCs up, and that's going to take a little practice too, right? But if I can keep the attention of everything, then my group saves on materials, and you save on ammunition, because now you're no longer at a point where you have to think about kiting, right? And kiting is when you're walking backwards or walking around in circles because you don't want to get hit multiple times by the group, right? You're minimizing your damage. But now you're having to do multiple things, and so your accuracy is ultimately going to go down because you are spreading yourself thin. So for you to be able to just sit back, relax, and just all you have to do is think about what like what am I shooting at? That's it. So, healing hand. No, not healing hand. Fuck healing hand. Where is it? And then again, and some of these you really have to watch out for. So, reviving other play, like, you don't need this. I don't know why you're running this. If you run this card, it's a waste of fucking time. Considering now what you've seen with my runs. You should constantly have 100 stims on you. Like if this is how you're going to, like, if you're going to be running in a group, you should individually or as a group, depending on the times that you're able to play. Like, I'm not going to tell you life, right? Life gets in the way. So you've seen the solo. All you got to do is just change your cards and add a couple people to your team, and this run is fucking greasy. So you should have stims on you all the fucking time. There's no excuse for that. I'm running 900 diluted stims. plus like 50 regular. Team medic. This is one of the most OP cards you have as a group, and you should all be running it. Now, as a tank, I'm gonna have issue. See, and here's why my build works so well with Team Medic. Right? We go back to your group now has a tank, which means you could use if you're running a blooded build, you can now use radiation to moderate your health, because now I'm taking all of the damage, right? I don't rely on radiation to to fluctuate my health. I just let myself get the shit kicked out of me, and then I get stronger and stronger as I lose my health. So for me to get stimmed up, that just repeat, like, I'm still ripping your health away. Like a death claw, like I juice up before I hit a death claw. So I'm running on high end HP, and then I dip into the low end by the end of it. Probably mid. I probably float around mid with the death claws now. But anyways, this doesn't affect my gameplay. It just makes it better because I don't have to worry about health at that point in time. Because now I'm going to be stripping away lone wanderer, because that's my OP card right now. This is what kind of makes the build. So again, 20% damage. Now it doesn't suggest what type of damage, right? It's just we're going back to general terminology at this point. All damage is being reduced by 20%. That's what I'm getting from this. Right? Because in some cases they talk about alleviating energy damage, right? For example, refractor. This is a specific resistance. This is not damage. This is not physical damage. This is energy damage. So when you get shot with a laser. And then again, damage. But you see, here's the thing. I don't know. You'd like, and this is my own thinking. This is my own thinking. I have not confirmed that this only does this. So this could be read two ways. This could be read as, again, okay, let's go to gladiator. Gladiator is good terminology. Where the fuck is gladiator? Not gladiator, sorry, barbarian. Barbarian. Damage resistance. Take 20% extra. I don't know. I view this as all damage. So this includes energy damage for me, in my mind. That's why this is such a big card. Plus the 30% AP regen. Like this is what allows me to get my runs done fast, right? Because I'm compounding this with Action Girl. So in theory, I've got 75% increase. I've got a 75% increase in AP regen, and then whatever else I can scoop together, and it doesn't even matter for me. By the time I open up my menu to go get something to supplement my AP is full. So I might as well just sit around, pick my fucking nose, enjoy the flowers, enjoy the scenery, and take a breather. So, there's a whole bunch of digressions happening here. We're supposed to be base building, but we're meandering. So, I'd want Team Medic, because now my team can sit back and use radiation to manage their health. And here's the nice thing, like, if everybody's always stimming because you've got 900 stims, each of you, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit now? We're just talking stim packs. Again, you could probably test this, and I'm betting that dilutes are a part of this. This is dilute, regular, and super stim packs also heal nearby teammates for half the normal strength. But I would push this card. And remember why you push this card, okay? Because now, remember, going back to the healing salve. right? When I put 5 healing salves on my body, that regeneration of health is stronger. It's faster. It's there's more of it, right? So the damage that's being done is being outweighed by the regenerative properties of how many I put on my body. So if you take away the strength, the overall strength, the performance of the regenerative properties are going to be smaller as well. They're going to be weaker. So this is why I say, and then so this is why sometimes you see me stim. I'll have like a cunt hair of health left, on my on my on my on my on my on like I'm almost full health basically, and you'll see me stim up right before I go into battle. And the reason for that is because I'm banking on the regenerative properties of the stim to keep my health high in the initial point of the battle. I don't have to think about my health, and that's why you see me start playing like that's why yesterday I played with music, because I'm now comfortable, and I died a lot yesterday. I died a lot yesterday, but that's because I don't have the heartbeat. I don't have that. I'm not listening, right? I'm out of sense. So I don't know where anybody is on my runs. I'm literally just running around and looking. And I have to it's like I'm playing death. I have to moderate my health with view. Otherwise I end up dead really quick. So stimming right before a battle and leaving that little bit of health open is going to give you a bump right at the very beginning through those regenerative properties, onward and forward. Now, Lone Wanderer is not going to make a speck of difference when you're in a team, so I suggest you run Bodyguard. The more people that you have on a team, the more damage and energy resists that you do. So this is a beast card. So we're essentially trading percentage, because I'm viewing this as all damage. So now and this card is all damage. It's just more specific, right? Because we already have a reduce all damage. Right, and then we go reduce all damage. Yeah. And then again I'm coupling it with this. Right? Reduce your target's damage output by 30%. So again, I read that terminology as all damage. I don't care what type of damage you're doing. If I attack you, I then drop whatever you're doing by 30%. So now, and this is why this tank works really nice. So now I've got 20% and 30% straight cuts. So 50% right off the top. Doesn't matter what you're doing, as long as I attack you. And I'm noticing less of it now that, and I don't know why. I'm noticing less of it. And maybe it's because of the update. I'm not sure. I don't work for these people. But I use blocker. Now the reason I use blocker is because when I get close to a person, I typically force them into a melee. You'll note that they put away their gun and pull out their fists or whatever. So when that happens, I gain an extra 45% damage reduction because I've now put you into a melee position. So I'm gonna lose Lone Wanderer, which means I need this up. At least for myself. Nobody else needs to run this. This needs to be in my build as a tank. And then I'd want this. So we'd end up going heavy. and I'd still have suppression on as a tank. But so this is why, and this is why forward thinking, right? Because I know to some degree I'm gonna have to get this up to 15. So remember, you can only put 15. You can only put 50, a maximum of 15. You don't get it. You can't put anything higher. Now you can supplement temporarily and make your strength, and you can actually put. I retract that. You can actually put more strength into this build. If I want, I can walk over to the thing and I can put more strength into. No, I can't build up here. I can put more strength into this, but it doesn't go towards the number. The it doesn't go towards card count. That's better terminology. It doesn't go towards card count, but it does go towards the overall strength that you've put in. So I noticed that. So I had my strength perk card on here, and I have it on 3, which means I get 3 extra perk points. But then while I was in here, I noticed that I had like 18 strength. Like when you go to that little ticket booth, I noticed that I had like 18 strength in here, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But I didn't have 3 extra slots because you don't get that. So I took those 3 strength out and I allocated them elsewhere, and that's how I came up with this build, because I realized I had like, I'm already smashing face. I don't need 3 strength hiding somewhere. Like, I'll put that somewhere else. So as of right now, wow, that's 4, and then I'm left with 3. And if I only have 1 teammate, well, what is this level up to? 8, 10, and 12. 12 damage. That's so light. Fuck. This card doesn't make sense unless you've got like at least 2 extra people. Oh, this is including you. Oh, this is including you. Okay. If this is including you. Okay. That's a little nice. That's a little better. I didn't see that. 16 is still light. 24 would be okay. 24 is basically half of any perk that I'm running right now is basically 24. Because Ironclad is running me 50 for both. And I don't have to do anything for it. I don't have to be in a team. I don't have nothing fancy. I just show up and I got it. Up to a maximum of 36. And 36 is still soft. Right? Let's be clear on that. 36 is still soft. And 36 is 6 people. So if we have a 6-person group, I have a maximum of 36 damage and energy resist, which is kind of fucking hooey. But I see why you've done that, because you wouldn't want to inadvertently like fucking tank up your whole team. So I need to figure out how I'm going to set these up. Anyways, back to it, man. Back to it. Kinda sucks that I don't have access to the lead and the acid at the same time, because I wanted to be greedy. So, in saying that, I have another place that might work, and it's going to offer us steel. Wow, what a digression that was. So, to do a little bit of math, if we're making about 40 extra, I think that's what it would be. I think it would just be like 40 extra an hour. That's it. So 40 extra an hour is literally 20 XP. So if we turn, and then remember we gotta come back to the base and collect it for it to make for us to make at least, right, because we're gonna turn that steel scrap into goggles. Now I don't know if I don't know how. Okay, so here's the issue now of the recycling process, and I don't know if we see. It'd be nice if we could recycle our items in bulk, but I know why you don't let us do that. You don't let us do that because if I do make 17,000 goggles, right? Like I'm gonna be, well, I think you can only hold um, 1,000 over your weight. Not even 1,000 over your weight. I think you can just hold like 1,000 pounds. I think that's the maximum. Like we haven't maxed out the weight, but I'm pretty sure 1,000 pounds is all you can hold. So at point 1, so we would do. It's not even 1,000, but anyways, you get the idea. Let's do 700 because we got about 200 weight on us already. So we do 700 divided by 0.1 equals 7,000. So we can make 7,000 goggles, and we can hold 7,000 goggles on us. And then we turn around and we deep comp those. But here's the thing. $20 extra goggles an hour is fuck all. It's literally fuck all. Knowing that we can pull from the scavengers, right? So this is going back to Emmett's disposal, which is just up the road here. We can pull every time we log in and log out, and I know now in a private server you get a fresh server every time you log in. So we're really not cheating the system by running on our own server. But if we run on a public server, I'm pretty sure Emmett's disposal site is not supposed to respawn. Because again, you show up to White Springs or you show up to anything else and it's always empty. It's either that or you've killed everything, and I don't know how long the respawn rate is, but it's pretty shit. I'll tell you that much. So we can come here and we can grind 350 steel in like what, 10 minutes? Not even 10 minutes. How long does it take us to run through those? Maybe 7 minutes. 7 minutes to run through all of those guys. So in 7 minutes you can gain. So now the question becomes is what makes the most sense to collect? What makes the most sense to collect? Now, I don't know if we can actually pull ultrasight. I don't know. I think the ultrasight fissures are literally fissures, and you have to walk up to them and just collect like the ore on the ground here. Like you're not allowed to build on them. You literally walk up to them and just scrounge whatever the fuck you can, and then you leave. And that's your ultra site. Now, we don't typically use nuclear waste. See, I'm hearing that people are low on ultracite, but I'm pretty sure if you want to collect ultracite, you're going to be doing that by hand. You're not going to have a machine. You're not going to have a machine passively collecting that for you. No, I haven't totally checked that, but up here in the north, we went to this ultracite base, this ultracite up here. So this right here, this Fisher site. You're not even allowed to build here. You're not even allowed to build here. This is where the ultracite is. So you come here and you pick it up by hand and then you leave. But you're probably going to fight a couple Scorch Beasts in the intern. So be wary of that. So I want to potentially stay away from ultracite fissures. Because so hear me out. And it's not that I'm afraid of fucking up a Scorch Beast, because we can take a Scorch Beast on. It's that I don't want to have to fix my base constantly. I don't want to have to protect my base constantly. Or rather, I don't want to have to protect my base constantly from Scorch Beasts. Like, I'm kosher with fucking around. I'm kosher with fucking around with like dogs and scorpions and toads and fucking whatever else. That doesn't bother me. So, I think an aluminum base would almost serve purpose. Because remember, now, granted, we don't use, see, my comment the other day was, we can't accumulate Nuka-Cola fast enough with our rotation to worry about warranting an aluminum base or a workshop for that matter. I don't care. Don't care, beautiful here. If I were to scoop up a workshop, it would be lead. It would be a lead workshop. Why? So that I can make bullets. But we don't need that. So I don't want to build here. See, I don't know about the concrete. I don't know about the concrete either. See, even the lead. Give me. stashes. We're looking for stash. We're looking for the stash. Where's the stash? In my fucking scrap box. Pardon me. Holy. 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 It's been bad. You know, everybody been getting that? Everybody been, like, that's talk of the town on Facebook. Fix your servers, man. Fix your servers. I don't, again, I go back to your public testing. You need to get on your testers. Okay. So, let's scrap all this shit while we're here. Why not? Okay. Our aluminum scrap is going up. And the reason for that is because when we run a silo, we take our time in the silo. And the reason we take our time in the silo is because we're collecting aluminum scrap. Because we're killing the robots. Now, I'm not saying that it's the greatest method for collecting aluminum scrap. It's not even the best method for collecting XP, because you only get like 9 XP per kill, which is nothing. But you do sometimes get aluminum scrap. So, if we're going to accumulate scrap every once in a while, and we're going to be able to keep up with the Nuka-Cola production, then I don't see why I should have an aluminum base. There's no point. I can't make explosives fast enough. And then I don't know what this oil is used for. What's oil used for? Oil seep. Probably used for like your jetpack and shit. And I'm pretty sure I don't have that much oil. Where's oil? Yeah, where's the oil, bro? Or maybe, or oh, you know what you know what the oil turns into? The oil turns into, I'm pretty sure the oil turns into, fuel. No? Oh no, waste oil. Waste oil, okay. We have a lot of waste oil. So we're not, so whatever we're using waste oil on, we're not anything that's a grand up, or even like, and like keep in mind we haven't used antiseptic in a while, right? Because we stopped doing tick runs and we stopped making stims. We don't make regular stims anymore with our antiseptic. We're just gonna hoard it for now. Again, so I'm not using the oil for anything major. This is hunting. You don't even need your own nukes to get this stuff. I mean, it's nice because, like, if you go to... Okay, so we drop a nuke on White Springs. Now, there's several reasons for dropping a nuke on White Springs. There's a whole bunch of fucking zombies there, okay? Now, what you've done with those zombies when you drop the nuke is you turn them into glowing zombies. Now, when you kill anything that's glowing, you have the chance of dropping... Excuse me. You have the inside a nuclear bomb. You have a chance of dropping hardened mass and glowing mass, and that's what those are used for. right? There's also, I think there's also, I think the other reason you drop the nuke down south is because I don't know if the digested goo is affected by the nuke. I don't think it is, but I think to some degree you need you need you need you need digested goo for something. I can't remember. I obviously haven't done too much of I obviously haven't done um too much too much nuke exploring. Um yeah, see, I'm not ripping through the silver. The only thing I'm gonna rip through is the bone. Because I've got a bone because I'm using bone. And our bone is going up. Our bone is going up. So between the 200% increase in fixing things and the 40% decrease in weapon damage, specifically melee damages, like melee weapons, I cannot spend things fast enough anymore. And also going back like look at, like, granted, I did probably buy about 300 of those from the NPC vendor, no less, because nobody sells the adhesive, really. I may have seen it like once or twice, and that's it. This is all now from collecting, minus like 300. So now with fixing our gear at 200%, and having white, what is it called? White Knight. So White Knight, between White Knight and fixing my shit to 200%, I now no longer have an issue with materials. Now, keep in mind that my screws are really low. My screws are half as low as my gears. Right? These were about par with each other. I had about 400 loose screws. I had about 200 loose screws at the time, sorry. And I burnt them all by locking down my shop. And I suggest you do the same. I suggest you lock down your shop, because people are running by your place and stealing things. That's just a given. That's happening. So I can supplement by going and buying more screws once we sell more salves. I've just been putting that off. We went and purchased some screws, and we seem to not be dipping under 200, which is fine. I might be on the rise at this point in time. But again, making the next base, depending on what I have, I'm gonna lock all that shit down too. Because if I'm gonna have a base that's and your base should have some type of generator on there. So again, I should have pushed my base back a little further, and while my shop is open to sell to people, I should be picking up concrete, which is just behind the Brotherhood. It's just literally right beside the Brotherhood. And I was getting people coming to my shop while I was kind of tucked away because you can't build water on the road, right? You have to build the water on the grass or the dirt. So my old base didn't even have. And now I'm back. I ripped my base out from there, and now I'm back. And now I'm contemplating going back to White Springs after I ripped my base out of there too. And P.S. when you lock things down and then delete them, you should get those lock bits back, or at least some of them. because you don't get lock bits back. So when you delete everything in your base and then move it rather than store it, you lose all of your lock capabilities. Nay, I'm pretty sure if I pick up, so I'm pretty sure this happened yesterday. So we'll go into resources. I put this guy was regular, this one here, and it was locked. And I had it on my property. And I picked it up and I put it in my pocket. Okay? I stored it. But it was locked ×3. And then what I did was I took it out of my pocket and it said, oh, you want to build this again? Okay, where do you want it? And then I went like this. And then I went like this. Oh, I want this one. And I put this one down. And guess what happened when I put this one down? I lost my lock features. So I'm wondering, and maybe we can test it when we get a few more screws, because not something I'm really interested in testing when I've got lack of something. But we could put down the regular one, lock it up with a cheap lock, with a number 1 lock. Actually, I don't even think you need. Yo, let me hit this. Let me hit that. Let me drop this. Okay. So, let's lock it up. Oh, you know what? Let's let the robot out. That's why. Okay, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Okay. Great. All we need is spring and steel. That's cheap. Okay. It's now locked, okay? So now I'm gonna pick this up and I'm gonna put it in my stash. I'm gonna store it. So it's now stored. Now I'm going to go into storage and I'm gonna put it down. Now I know it's red, but for some reason it's glitchy like that. And it's not locked. So when you pick something up, when you lock a water station and then you pick the water station up and put it in your pocket thinking that you're going to move it to your next base, it's not going to be locked. You lost that feature when you put it in your pocket. You know how chintzy that is? That's chintzy. Bethesda. That's chintzy. There's a lot of things that's happening here right now that are chintzy. I want to be able to use. If it's the case that I can't use this and the lead upstairs, then you need to move these further away. You need to move these further away so somebody has access to this while I'm here.
So much junk, so little time.
Either that or give us the rights to give us the air rights. Okay, we're gonna scrap that. Yeah, and I'm not making explosives either, right? Like, we're not making hardcore explosives. We're not making bullets. So like our cloth, I'm pretty sure cloth and acid goes into making. Is it cloth and acid? I'm pretty sure cloth and acid goes into making gunpowder. That's why I've been collecting cloth. Because one day I need to shoot some things in the face. What What you got for me, bro? Shh. 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 Okay. Ooh, ultra sight ammo. Ultra sight ammo. Oh, you do say, huh? Oh my god, you need pure fluorescent flux for this shit? Ew. Ew, fuck. Oh, and you still need lead. Oh, dry. Dry. You can't make ultrasight arrows. You can just make crossbow bolts. This is what we need here. So if we want to run fusion cores are easy to find, right? We've shown that on our run. Our run has, and granted, the ultrasight, the ultrasight fusion core. Is it the fusion core? I don't think it's. I don't. Maybe it's not the fusion core. I'm sure it's the plasma core. I don't know if we can make plasma cores. No, I think this is a regular. I think this is a regular cell. I think this is a regular core for your suit that's been souped up. So this is only for your suit still. I think. Because I'm pretty sure it's the plasma core. So if we go to energy ammo, it's this one. But then we need like, but I'm pretty sure we need, so here's where the nuclear waste comes in. So it is, so it's worth, so it's almost worth us running nuclear. And the reason we could run nuclear is because we could sell our nuclear waste because we're not using it, right? So why don't we look for nuclear waste? So I have a base in mind for nuclear waste, which is interesting, which is very interesting. Okay, so well, we can potentially make plasma cores for people. Now lead is fucking copper too, eh? I know where we can double down. I know where we can double down on a copper and I think a steel. But that's not really what I'm after. I have so little copper. So little copper. Okay, let's put copper on the board real quick. I didn't know copper was going to be... Okay, so I'm going to take out concrete, crystal, gold, junk, oil, ultrasite. I'll leave lead, iron, copper, acid, and aluminum up because those are going to be our tasties. Okay, interestingly enough, there's a copper and an acid close together. But I don't think I'm interested in an acid. I think if anything I would like to have no, that's the site that we're at right now. Yeah. Yeah. And you know where all of this copper came from? All this copper came from the from my initial run. I basically picked that up off the ground near the farm, in between Vault 76 and the fairgrounds. That kind of sucks, man. It kind of sucks that you don't have more. You don't have more in one place. Like you could have done it. Like if you're not, I don't see. Here's where I disagree with you. Here's where I disagree with you. You have plenty of land to spread these out to the point where you don't have overlap, but you've still overlapped a few of them. There's at least, and minus this one. Minus this one now, there's at least two of that I know of that we can get multiple resources from the same base. And one of them is an exceptional pull, right? We've got fertilizer. We've got fertilizer and acid, which are two prime resources because we know people run explosive builds because somebody came by the stream the other day touting that they used an explosive build. And I don't doubt that it'd work. It'd work. Explosives for me right now are still fucking deadly, and I haven't done anything to upgrade them. Could you imagine if you ran explosive builds and you just like you'd basically I have tons. I have tons of explosives all the time. Granted, I don't use them because it's faster for me to just run up and smash you in the face. Okay, so let's go. Let's go check. Let's go check this out then. I'm gonna delete this shit. I'm gonna delete this shit and leave this disappointment behind. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Okay. It is... where art thou? Oops. I'm pretty sure... it is right here. Not even that far. Now, this is way the fuck out of the rotation. It almost makes sense. I'm just coming to see if we can double down on something. I may end up just biting the biting the bullet. I may end up just biting the bullet and taking a lead base close to White Springs. Because I don't see a lead. See, it'd be nice to have a lead in a place where we could go and grind. Like, oh, we stop off at the base, and then we get to smash face while we're there. Or like, we get to smash face just around the corner. Kind of like how we jump from Emmett's down to the super mutants. Yeah, I'm gonna check this out real quick, and then I'm going to, see maybe about making a lead base, I think. I don't know. Maybe with the next base we make a lead base, and I make a nuke base here. Sounds like there's fun here. That's hard on the eyeballs, eh? Holy. So, somewhere around here, maybe that's it. No, maybe not. No, it's a little, it's actually like right here. Holy bro. Why are you so mad? Dusted. I love this. I love it. You'd think if there was a nuclear site here that we could pick from, just like the acid site, we'd collect some type of like radiation poison, telling us that we'd be close by. It's like maybe this is it? Uranium deposit. Alright, so we found the uranium deposit. Now, in theory, it is. Ooh, that's a heavy. That's too heavy. That's too heavy. Yeah, I'd say it's about this direction. Yo, let me up, bro. What you got for me? What you got for me? We fitting this all in the same base? Come on, don't fuck around. Oh, don't fuck around. We got lead. Yo, we got lead. Yo, we got lead here. Oh, fuck around. Oh, just two? Just two? Just two. Don't be so sad. That's extra. That's extra. That's extra, extra, bro. Don't be sad. Here it is. Here it is. Here's the iron deposit. Okay. I don't know if we're gonna get both of these in here. I don't think so. I don't think so. That's a pretty far jog. We can try. Holy fuck, dude. Fix your servers. So, we just that's it right there. So we just barely sneak it in. Just sneak it in. Sneak it in. Now, that should be plenty of fucking room to build there. Crafting. We want resources. Got some resources for me? Yeah, got some resources for me, bro. Boom. That's in there. That's in there like swimwear, bro. That's in there like swimwear. Yes. Oh, boo. Oh, boo. Poo-poo on you. Fuckery. Well. It was worth a try. We know now that we're not fitting that base in here. That sucks. Whatever. Okay, I think I'm going to, where'd that lead go? Bro, I'm hard up. I'll take your lead. I want some Alzheimer's guy. Where's your lead? Okay. Just get the fuck out of here. That sucked. Oh well. So if that's now the case, and it is not going to work, see, I bet you this guy's at the lead, yo. This guy's here at the lead. I need something in a rotation. I'm not completely satisfied with the fact that No, I'm not completely satisfied.
You from Appalachia? Or are you a newcomer?
No, I live here, bro. This is my hood.
Somebody there?
Stuff left behind after the war. You should make good use of it.
Okay. Got any stims for me, bro? Yeah, see, 74 is super soft. And even if you don't have XP boxes, it makes sense to run White Springs. Like, it just makes sense to be there because that's the highest amount of XP that you're gonna collect in one general area and not have to like pour it around and waste your money. Plus, like, it's great XP there.
Damn it! Broken!
Oh, I love this extra 25% damage. So I got a new. I got a new. Where is it? Oh, it's in effects. It's right here. I got Twisted Muscles, which gives me 50% less gun accuracy. That was my bad too. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna make much of it. Like, right, and my guns are soft too. Like, I'm not running a gun build. I just use this to call people in. What you got for me today, bro? That shitty core. No. Oh, fuck. Fuck. Whatever, we'll take it all and we'll decomp it. You know, I've never actually picked up the power arm to decomp it. Do I got scrapper on? I do. I do. I do. I do. I do. Again, right? And this is where this is the steel scrap. Right? I'm pretty sure that's what iron gets you, is steel scrap. Why won't you let me decomp this armor? So what happens if I drop it on the ground, pick it up, and then try to scrap it? That's fucking lame. Fix your code.
What were they dumping? How much?
So if we're gonna make a base for profit, so to say,
A lot of people think of themselves as scavengers these days.
what's
Not many of us will go
the
scrounging in
best
places like this.
method for making money? Now, everybody uses purified water, right? Everybody uses purified water. The problem we have with that is that we don't have the weight for it.
My
And we
parents were
know
miners. I
that
never
people
saw myself digging around in a cave without
shush. We know that people aren't buying purified water. Not at 4, not at 3, and not at 2. Now we could put the food perk card on, but then again, like, what am I going to I'm just going to supplement more tank to get that in. And the reason the scrapper card works is because, oh, excuse me, there's not much else to tank up. That's the point. Oh, I don't even have adrenaline on. That's funny. That's okay. Right? If I take scrapper out, I'd put into adrenaline. Or energy. One of the two. Also keep in mind we can tank up a little more by adding barbarian back to this. Right, we've slipped in. We're running a modified build. So I would take out pack rat and then the 2 gladiators, and I'd put back on barbarian. But because everything that we're facing up against doesn't need, like, I don't need more resistance. I need to get through my run faster. So that's where this comes in. And then the junk is just because, remember, we're picking up shit from the zombies. There's not much that comes from the scavengers. It's mostly guns. It's mostly guns and ammunition and whatever else that comes from the scavengers. The junk comes from the ghouls. So it's just nice. $57 stems. This is, look at this. That's fucking ridiculous. Hold on here. Did I move them? Tell me I moved them and I didn't actually collect that many over the run. The raid X will give you a good idea. The raid X will give you a good idea. Check your raid X as well. Fucking kidding. Oh shit. Look at what we have here. We have a wanderer.
Damn it!
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. Look at this scrap. Look at this scrap accumulation. Bro. And you're making levels. I must have pulled it all out, I think. Where's my Radex? 20. Yeah, no, I must have pulled it. I must have pulled it out. I must have pulled it out to put I must have pulled it out. That's okay. Yeah, because you see I also pulled my stealth boys out too. I pulled my stealth boys out so that I could sell my stims. And I didn't sell 200 stims either. I took 200 stims out so that I could put other shit in there, and then I gave those 200 stims away to that newbie. Yeah, so those are mine. Plus like 28. Somewhere around there. Yeah, because well, look, we got 25 dilute. We got roughly 37. 28. Yeah. So we picked up like an extra 25-ish. Okay. So, I guess the base then becomes a... It almost becomes a convenient factor at this point. So if that's the case, so if it's a base of opportunity, where's the best opportunity? Do we make a strictly water base? Because I want to be able to capitalize on, I want to be, like, if I'm going to capitalize on one resource, then I want to be able to capitalize on water at the same time. And I'm discounting water as a quote-unquote resource. We're just talking about, like, minerals and ores and compounds and whatever else. There's no true base of convenience that has what I'm looking for in it. That's my issue. I could make a base. I could make a base close to the general nuke site that people make. Right, because they drop their nukes. They drop their nukes here. They drop their nukes right in here. And our base of convenience would be here. That would be our base of convenience. If possible. And that's for us hitching a ride. And that's us. Okay, there's two things here. That's lead. And it's a place for us to get a free port to. So when we're running solo or in a group, depending on who wants to nuke where and for what reasons, because there's bound to be reasons why you fight in a particular area. But here's the thing, if I were to make a base here, why wouldn't I make it close enough that I could fight the queen itself? And then I would do my own queen runs. So instead of... And here's the thing that we're gonna have to test. If I call the queen If I scorch the earth, does the scorch... I think the scorch quest ends up here. Ends up down here somewhere. Like, I'm pretty sure this is where you fight the queen. This is where the magic is. This is the spawn point for the queen. So, now I ask myself a second question. Instead of lead, why don't we make a base close enough? So let's throw on all the filters. Let's throw on, and by filters I mean concrete, crystal, gold, junk, oil. We're not going to throw on ultracite because we're going to have to dig for that. And I don't know if black titanium is something that we have to dig for. Or we can just, well, we'll have to see. So, right here, is oil. Now, how far can we kite the queen? And we are really close to a fisher site, which is not healthy either. See, so I mean, I'm not, and this goes back to creating perk cards. So if I create a base down here, everything wants to fucking kill me down here. That's the issue. And I only have little fucking turrets that aren't gonna do anything. Like they do okay. They do okay against super mutants and shit. But anything bigger than that, and they're just fucked. Like they get ripped apart by just about everything. They get fucked up. My turrets get fucked up by dogs, man. So can we put a base here and pull the queen to that point? Because people fight around this point. So can we have oil at the same time as fighting the Scorch Queen at the base itself? So we would basically make a pad big enough for everybody to stand on. And then the Queen would be able to come and land on that pad. That's going to be a task and a half to test. So we're going to have to set up the base here. And I don't even know if we can do... We might be able to set a base up here. We might be able to set a base up here. I know this is a very boring stream. But these are the things that I think about when I play a video game. All of these little pinballs kind of like put a nice little system together. And if I can capitalize on each point of the pinball, then we're gonna get rich with levels and monies. I may pull all my new cards off for sale. And test. And test this base here. I know the queen has a huge area of engagement. I just don't know how I just don't know how far it is. Where's another base of convenience? I don't know where Earl spawns. But like I don't usually see mass gatherings anywhere but in the Queen. I bet you those are too far away as well. We're gonna have the same issue as the other place. And that's not a place of convenience either. I'm pretty sure oil's not that big of a commodity. Fuck, man. I don't know if it's going to be worth hunting Mothmen, especially because we can, especially like, again, I go back to scrapping with the scavengers. See, even like a junk base doesn't even make it, like if you're sitting on top of junk, that makes no sense. That's not worth it. Junk is not worth the junk. Like if you've got, you need to increase your junk, like your junk, like the amount of junk that's pushed in a machine on a base. Your junk production is weak, especially considering what I know now. Why would I overtake one of those workshops? Why would I overtake a junk workshop? Again, I'm pretty sure. Again, I'm gonna label that as misdirection. You spend all of this time and efforts at and we did that. We spent and it was great at the time because I didn't have anything better. That's why. That's why I was happier than a pig in shit. And we did the junk pile over in the we did the junk pile over here somewhere. It's right here. Got 3 junk piles in here. This is basically like a little garbage bin. It's a nice little spot. Like straight goods. If you wanted like straight goods, I poke at this. I poke at this spot. But forget the food. Forget the food. We're looking at the water, the aluminum, the steel, and the copper. And the junk is just a plus. And I know I shit on this pretty fucking bad, ooh, junk. But the aluminum is OP. The copper is OP. We need some steel. Like, well, we don't really need steel. The water is amazing here. It's easy to defend. It's pretty easy to defend this. I went overboard on the defenses. So, if this is potentially a viable option for the rotation, then maybe we should put our base of convenience near here. And then, so if we're going to do that, right? If we're gonna do that, what's maybe the best thing to capitalize on that's close by? And unfortunately, there's nothing really close by. There's nothing really close by at all. Like, there's a couple of things spread out here and there. This is the spot, though. I'm getting little tingles. I'm getting tingles. You know what we could do? And I know it's not the best. And hear me out, because we also have another workshop right here. And look what we have in here. More aluminum. Not only do we have aluminum, though, we have fusion cores, we have lead, and we have nuclear waste. So, I think we're about to become busy. So, splitting the two, is there anything kind of close by that we can use to port to? So, down here, like literally right on the water, there's an iron deposit. So we could make the iron deposit here. And then that's a fiver, and that's a fiver. So we have a nice little triangle. We have a nice little fiver triangle to kind of like to ease up on the 20, to ease up on like the 30 caps it's gonna take to get here. So, and then we can check out how much water is actually in this stream. Oh, I think we've got a fucking idea. I think we've got an idea. I think we've got a super OP idea. I think this is great. I'm getting little tingles here. So, what we're going to do now is, instead of making the bases over and over and over again, we have to stick things in our stored area. Now, I'm pretty sure the stored area between your workshops and your camps are shared. So you have to watch out for how much you store. So, we need to figure out how many things we need, because it's going to be worth pushing 3 junk. Because we're going to be there anyways. Right? I went there under the assumption that the junk was going to be important. And I neglected the copper and the aluminum. Like, I still made copper and aluminum there. And I still made the water there as well. I didn't make food. I don't know. I didn't suss out the food. But I definitely did make the copper, the junk, the steel, and the aluminum. I made everything. And the water. It was a really nice place to be. Like the junk times 3, I mean. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna do. I think this is our new base of opportunity. Now, we can lock. See, here's the issue. I'm pretty sure if we lock up the base and we put turrets up, if somebody comes to steal our shit, they can break our base, right? Because they're going to become wanted, and my base is going to fight them, and then they're going to fight my base, and then they're going to destroy my base. So we make the bases under the premise, and this is under the premise of a public server. So we make the base and we don't log. We make these two bases here, the landfill and the nuclear site across the way. These two bases here, because we got aluminum, nuclear, and lead here. And if we can get the fusion, up and running, all the better. I don't need water. We don't need water. We don't need any extra water. I might put water in this one because it's easy to maintain. I don't know what this other base entails up north. But so we don't lock it down. So that way when somebody shows up they can just steal our shit. But that means that we don't have to spend extra trying to fix our base. Now here's the thing. Because we're going to be putting ourselves into a PvP instance in some regards, what you should essentially do is minimize your workshop. So your workshop stuff is 40. I think it's 40. It's either 20 or 40% less. 40. It's probably in smarts. Your base parts cost less. There you go. Crafting workshop items now costs 28, 20, 25, 25, 50. 50. So we got to get this. So we've got to get this card upgraded. This is workshop items now. We're not talking about camp items. Okay? Two different things. The workshops are these things here. That is a workshop. That is a workshop. You can have, and I don't know how many you can have because I have not put that to the test because I do not want to be that busy. But I am pretty sure you can have more than one up. So it would make sense, especially because we've got explosives, right? And we want to build cores, right? Not only do we want to build plasma cores, not necessarily fusion cores. But the plasma cores take copper. And then we can turn around and peddle. So here's the thing. A fusion core takes longer to use. So if you've managed your perks properly, you're going to have the same thing as we have in any other regard. So we don't use a lot of steel scrap. And so we have 40,000 steel scrap, right? Okay, here's a better example. We go back to fixing our armor and our weapons, right? Why do I have so much extra adhesive now? Because I've paired my perks properly, and I'm no longer consuming more than I'm gaining. So I'm no longer at a deficit. I'm at a positive. And the same thing is going to happen with your cores. Right? Especially if you're putting cores in on your rotation. Because you can do that. You can there's a whole bunch of generators around the world that you could go to this interactive map on. I go to Google Fallout 76 interactive map, and it should be the first one up there. I'm not gonna. I don't wanna. I'm gonna try and keep my mouth shut about websites, and I don't want to promote certain things because there may be nasty things on websites. I don't know. So I'm gonna try and keep my face shut about all that. But you can do your own research. Just be safe about doing your research. Don't go to any nasty sites. So I think we have it. I think we have it. So back to it. You're gonna have an excess of fusion cores. I know you are. I know you are. If you've got the proper perks on, you should be good. So now the question becomes: is what is more of a commodity? Well, those Gatling lasers, one core, one pulse, one pulse core, plasma core. I think it's called a plasma core. One plasma core yields 250 bullets. And if you're shooting, like, you don't even have to reload, bro. You literally just fucking shoot 250 bullets. So you know how fast you go through those things? Like, I was ripping cores. When we were fighting the Queen, I was just ripping cores. So I could see people being at a deficit. And those cores are expensive too. Like, I'm not budging on my core prices. 1.5 per tick. I'm not selling them one for one. You go fuck yourself. If you want them one for one, then you can go grind. You can go grind your cheap ass can go fucking grind them out yourself. Fuck. If you want to enjoy your gameplay, then you need to spend money to enjoy it. That's my thought process. And I'll throw my cores on the ground before I sell them cheap. Because I know you're going to turn around and try and do the same. Nobody's going to make a profit off of my hard work unless I deem it. So we got to figure this out. We need a commodity that everyone wants. And everybody uses heavy weapons. And I'm seeing a lot of lasers, which suggests to me cores and cells. My cells haven't moved, but my cells moved last time. Like, somebody bought like all 500, 600 cells at one. Okay. I think I've got a plan. I think I've got a master plan. And then, so it's going to be simple. When we set these bases up, there's not going to be crazy like the last fucking base. I'm gonna set up the workshop. I might toss up a couple fences if it's convenient. If it's not, I'm just gonna throw up some turrets and I'm gonna hope for the best. And we'll put on the 50%. We'll put on the 50% workshop thing, and we'll see if we can. We'll see if the. We'll see if it. If we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go fetch a coffee. Fourth base. Fourth base should probably be something similar. So we find 2 more workshops. We find 2 more workshops with something that everybody's gonna want. And because we have the scrap bin and we're able to store all of this stuff for free, we might as well we've got it, we might as well capitalize on it. So here I am fucking pacing. I'm pacing while I talk. Oh, that's too funny. I think we're ready. I think we're ready to push this to the next level. The question now becomes, can we find something interesting in this spot to help with the rotation? Like, because I'm down here, this man has 700 plans. We have to go check this out real quick. I probably have majority of them, but we're gonna go check. It's probably so expensive. Probably asking for legendary prices. And the reason, here's the thing, and the reason I poke at that is because we can go and pick these things up off the ground. I am willing to spend the time to acquire certain things for free if need be. Yeah, I bet you are, but you are a planned market, eh? What are you selling your purified water for? 20. You're selling your purified water for 20? What's your stim pack dilutes? Oh, oh, that stings. You're really selling your dilutes for 15? Okay. Interesting. 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 Why are you selling pianos for 1 and pianos for 350? He's got the right prices though. His prices are fucking deadly.
Hi there.
I hit solid gold.
But I have all of your plans. I literally have all of your plans. Wait. Yo, this man says he's got 743 plans. What the fuck? That doesn't look like 700 plans to me.
Be more junk around here.
I'm not counting them all. Straight good. That's all your plans, eh? Oh, you know what it is? You know why he's got 700 plans? Because he's got 22 of one. That's why he's got 700 plans. I got tricked. That's okay.
Hamburger? Oof. Sure that is pretty risky.
Do I have anything that I can sell you?
Be sure to stock up while you can.
I've got a little bit of dilute on me I can sell. But it's not even one pound yet.
Don't face the wasteland without the proper supplies.
Nah. Not yet. We will sell some things today though. I got 1400 I need to scoop up. But again, I'm not worried. Like I can do one run and fucking I've still got thousands that I can sell. And look at that, we're here too. We got the Grafton Pussy Monster here. Oh, yes we do. Tell me this doesn't look like a giant vagina.
This is a level 2 nuclear alert. Repeat, this is a level 2 nuclear alert. The Poseidon Energy Plant WV-06 has suffered a critical failure. Hazmat teams are ordered. Please remain indoors and await further instructions.
I'm gonna beat up this giant vagina. Oh my god. I can't believe you guys snuck in a giant vagina. Has nobody called you out on that yet? I'm gonna throw that up on TikTok. Okay, we'll get you some traction. Oh yeah. I'll just yo, the front. I wonder. We should just zoom in. We should just zoom in on it. We should just zoom in on it and leave it at that. Oh, we got 60 feet to go. Dust it. Are we done? So much for a creek, eh? Fuck. Fuck. Fuck you, suck. Fuck you, suck. You know that? And we know you did, like, I'm gonna set up a base here, and I'm gonna see if we can pull water out of this dry stream. But I'm pretty sure we're not gonna be able to set up. I may go and find another place if this is gonna be a dry stream. 'Cause like just down the street we have aluminum. It's not as in the middle, but at the same time we can port from one to the other. So it's here. So what we could end up doing is we port to this base with the aluminum. And that, well, you see the steel, I think again the steel is going to be a better choice, because going back to breaking it down and treating it as a leveling item. So we'll make goggles out of them. We'll make goggles out of them for two scrap steel, and then we'll turn around and decomp them for 1 scrap steel. Now, granted, we only get 1 XP. I don't know if that's going to be worth it. I don't know. See, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure we can build. Let's go fuck off down the lane. Before we fuck off down the lane, okay. Can I pull water from this dry stream? That's a big go fuck yourself. That's a go fuck yourself. Okay. So, I'm not gonna build a base here. And I know this seems like... I know it seems like spending $40 to come check this shit out. Not only that, I spent $60 to come check this out. We ported here for 20 and then spent 40. But at the same time, I want to know that it's going to be worth me I'm not gonna build in here. I wouldn't build in here at all. Look at that.
This is a Level 2 nuclear alert. Repeat, this is a Level 2 nuclear alert. The Poseidon Energy Plant WV-06 has suffered a critical failure. Hazmat teams are en route. Please remain indoors and await further instructions.
Fuck. Let's go walk up the stream. Fuck. Fuck you. again, remember, the Grafton Pussy Monster comes through here, right? It roams from here all the way over to here. All this. All of this is its territory. So I wouldn't build right here. That to me is not a bright fucking idea. I don't think here is going to be a very bright idea either. Although it is closer. Oh, fuck. I want... Was his base on the stream? Where the fuck is his base? We'll just fast travel to it for free. What you got for me? Yes. Yes, look at you. Look at you. Look at you, right across from the fucking train station too. Look at you.
Scavenging is its own reward. Sometime a wet and dirty one.
I wonder how much water you've built on. Okay, we're gonna... We're gonna pour it out and we're gonna come back. I think we may have found our base. Because again, I don't know how much I want to decomp. Or... See, it'll probably be really fast to make 7,000 goggles, but then to turn around and decomp them. That's where the time is going to lie. So now the question becomes, is how fast can I decomp 7,000 goggles? So if I can click roughly once a second, right, to decomp, roughly once a second to decomp. We'll do 7,000 divided by 60. Right? Would it be 7,000? So if I can click once, if I can click twice a second almost, because I'm going to have to click to activate it and then click to decomp. Click to activate, click to decomp. So we'll go rough figuring. divided by equals, and then divided by 60. So we're looking at, I think we're looking at about an hour to decomp everything. An hour. We're looking at about an hour to decomp everything. So if we were to make seven, now keep in mind it's going to be way faster to make these things than it is to decomp them, because we can walk up to a bench and we can craft them. Right? That's the way that works. Is this guy's shop still here? So we can go into craft. Oh, I think this is the tinker bench. Oh no, it's the armor bench. Okay, deadly. So we'll go into headwear. Okay. And now we're looking at Piper's Road goggles. So if we click on Piper's Road goggles, how many will it let us make at a time? It'll let us make a maximum of 255 at a time. So it's pretty easy to gain. It's pretty easy to gain that, right? Because how many do we have? 40. So we're looking at 20,000. We're looking at 20,000 XP just for ripping goggles. But then it's gonna cost us an hour to turn around and break that down. So let's do some quick math here. So if we've got roughly 20,000, we're gonna divide that by 2. We're looking at 10,000 XP in an hour. Okay, that's for the decomp rate. That's how. Okay. Quiet with your tapping. Okay. So we started off with 40,000. We're gonna get 20,000 XP really fast, right? Because we can make 250 instantly. So we just keep making 250 until we run out of scrap. But now to get 10,000 XP, because that's our next decomp, because once we decomp all this, we're gonna be left with 10,000 scrap, right? We're going to be left with 10,000 scrap. Now, 10,000 scrap equals, oh, it's not even 10,000 XP. Hold on here. Yeah, the 20,000. So, we're going to be able to make, yeah. No, we divide that by 2. So I think we're only going to get... Okay, hold on. I'm getting excited here. So we've got 40,000. And we're going to... And we're going to make as many goggles as we can. So, we just made 20,000 goggles. And we got 20,000 XP. We crushed that. It's great. Now we're decomping. So we're decomping. Now we're left with 10,000 scrap. So it took an hour to get 10,000 scrap. Now we're going to turn around and divide that by 2 again. And that's how much XP we're going to get. So to spend an hour decomping to get that scrap back, we're only going to make 5,000 XP in an hour. So what happens when we go to White Springs? Let's put that into perspective. There's no decomping here. If you're going to make goggles, you're going to make goggles, and hopefully you can decomp them on a mass level, but I don't think you can. We're going to show up and we're going to do the exact same thing when we run scavengers. We're going to sit here and we're going to click. But now we're going to do that. 20,000 times. We're going to do that more than 20,000. That's not going to happen. I'm going to fuck up my controller. I'm just not in the mood for that. I might build them and then just drop them. because I'm pretty sure we can just drop 20,000 goggles on the ground and be done with it. So, it is not worth decomping the second round because we're only going to get 5,000 XP an hour. And if we can log off and log on and run White Springs, we're looking at on regular, no XP boxes, okay? No lunch boxes. We're looking at roughly guaranteed we're looking at 437 I think there's there's at least three at 437 XP, and then not to mention all the little other trash that we're collecting as well, right? And by trash I mean the other bots. So look at how bloodshot your eyes are, bro. Fucking smoke some more weed. So we are gaining massive amounts of XP in an hour. We're gaining full levels in an hour, right? And going back to this with lunchboxes and having 100% increase in XP, if we divide that by 2, we're back to regular, which means we should be grinding roughly a level and a half an hour at White Springs if we just log off and log back on, and we have perfect runs. That's what that tells me. So in no way should we be decomping these goggles after we make them. That's the reiteration to that whole fucking info dump. Great levels to start though. Great levels to start. Could you imagine, like we've obviously accumulated this over a certain time period, but wake up and have 20,000 XP. How much is it? Okay, well hold on. How many XP is in a level? Fallout 76.
According to Reddit, XP requirements are the same from 50 to 99, and from 100 to 999, and 1000 on, if I remember correctly.
If you remember correctly, you're Google. Okay, so from 100 to 999, it is 15,880 XP per level. So that's how many, so we've essentially just boosted one level. One and a little bit levels with that scrap. That's what that scrap equals. One and a little bit levels at this point. If we had done that from 50 to 99, I think the levels are 7,880. That's what this is saying here. So 7,880 per level. So yeah, and other people are saying, like, I'm not really noticing it. I'm not really noticing it because the scale in XP is fine. But just to give you an idea of what we're at right now, so we can basically boost one level with all that scrap, or we could try and sell it. Right. We could try and sell it. Even at 2. Even at 2 scrap, even at 2 per scrap.
I don't know how grain bombs got their name, but I'm gonna make it.
I want to log off and log back on and see what this little puddle is about. Yeah, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna go grab a coffee real quick too. Okay. What do we have? Why would you build right over this? That's crazy. That's crazy. He started about here. And all of this was covered.
I know a guy who could fix that.
That voice, I'm pretty sure that's the same voice in ESO. Like you literally just that's a voice actor from ESO. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Okay. Let's try and put the base here. I would rather capitalize on water rather than scrap. And the reason for that is because there's almost an immediate requirement for water over steel scrap. Given the fact that I've got 40,000 of it. So, and this appears to be a quiet spot, which means I don't have to necessarily soup up the defenses to keep the base safe. And we're close. We're like that's pretty close. And we've got the train station right here. So if ever we wanted to decomp something, it's like we have everything right there. I think this is the spot. I think this is the spot. Okay, so now here's the thing. We want to capitalize on the water, but we also want to capitalize on the land to make more water. So if I put into if I put half of this house into my base, I'm gonna be landlocked. So, knowing that, server is shutting down for maintenance. Why would you even allow me to show up on a server that's about to be shut down? And I'm pretty sure... Come on, guys. You guys should have mitigated that. I shouldn't have been able to show up and 5 minutes later you kick me off. You should have, like, for instances like this, you don't allow people to log back onto your servers. You have at least a 10-minute buffer. 5-10 minute buffer to clear your server. People are not gonna notice. Okay? You should have had a 5-10 minute buffer. And I shouldn't even have showed up to this server. This server should have been hidden for all intents and purposes. 10 minutes before close? Sorry, bro. I'm not making you a lobster dinner. You can go fuck yourself. I think we're doing this. Okay, let me log off. I'm on a private server, too. Like I'm on a private server. So that in itself shouldn't even have existed. Yeah, you should have even a 5-minute buffer, 5-10 minute buffer. All servers are undergoing maintenance. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, I guess that's the end of the stream for today. Down for maintenance. I retract my statement. All the servers have shut down for maintenance. All right. Well, I bid you farewell.